In his last year of school, James Clear was hit in the face by a baseball bat, broken nose, fractured skull, a medically induced coma. He could not put his life back in one heroic act, so he did something smaller. He went to bed early. He made his bed. He lifted a little. This is the room, and this is day one. An alarm clock that wins every morning, a notebook nobody has opened, a pack he keeps meaning to quit. Watch the light on this floor. It is the only calendar we will need. Nothing about today matters. That is the entire argument of the book. In 2003, British Cycling hired a coach called Dave Brailsford. British riders had gone 72 years without an Olympic gold until 1992. His method was almost silly. Improve everything by 1%. The seats, the pillows they travelled with, how the riders washed their hands. 5 years later, they took 7 of the 10 track golds in Beijing, then 5 Tours de France in 6 years. Because 1% a day is not 1% a year. 1.01 multiplied 365 times is 37.78, and 1% worse each day decays to nearly nothing. So the book's first instruction is strange. Forget the goal. Every finalist wants to win. The difference is never the wanting. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. And a system is just a loop, running 4 steps, a cue you notice, a craving it creates, a response you make, a reward that closes it, a little stronger than before. Each step has a law for building a habit and an inversion for breaking one. Make it obvious or make it invisible. Attractive or unattractive, easy or difficult, satisfying or unsatisfying. Psychologist Wendy Wood's diary studies found roughly 40% of what we do each day is not decided at all. It is repeated. Day 30. He runs most mornings now. He writes 1 line most nights. And the room refuses to notice. Imagine an ice cube in a freezing room and the room slowly warming. 26 degrees, 28, 31, nothing happens. Then 32, and everything changes at once. The heat was never wasted, it was stored. Clear calls the flat, stretch the valley of disappointment. If a habit feels useless, you are probably 1 degree away from it working. Now the deepest idea in the book. 2 people are offered a cigarette. The first says, "No thanks, I am trying to quit." The second says, "No thanks, I am not a smoker." Same refusal, completely different person. One is fighting himself, the other has already changed. Every action you take is a vote for the kind of person you are becoming. Day 90. Look at the desk. The pack is gone. Nobody announced it. The votes simply stopped being close. So how do you actually build one? 4 laws, 1 for each step of the loop. Law 1. Make it obvious. The book left the shelf and moved onto the pillow. You do not need more willpower. You need a better designed room. Clear's first tool is a scorecard. List what you already do each morning and mark each one good, bad, or neutral. You cannot change a habit you have not noticed. Then be specific. Not read more, but I will read 1 page at 7 in this chair. A time and a place, decided in advance. Or stack it onto something you already do without thinking. After I pour the coffee, I open the notebook. The old habit becomes the cue for the new one. Japanese train drivers point at every signal and say it aloud. It feels absurd. It cuts errors dramatically because it drags an automatic act back into awareness. Law 2. Make it attractive. Pair what you need with what you want. A student in Dublin wired his television to an exercise bike, so his shows only played while he pedaled. He called it Cycflix. And the craving is not the reward. Dopamine rises before you get the thing. In the wanting, not the having. That anticipation is the engine you are steering. The strongest pull of all is belonging. Join a group where the behavior you want is simply what normal people do, and the habit stops being a fight. Law 3. Make it easy. So reduce the friction. The habits you want should take fewer steps than the ones you don't. Lay the clothes out, hide the remote, design the path of least resistance to run toward you. There is a story the photographer Jerry Uelsman told about his class. He split it in two, half graded on how many photographs they made, half on making one perfect one. The best pictures came from the group shooting volume. So start smaller than feels respectable. 2 minutes. Do not read a book. Read 1 page. Do not run. Put on the shoes. Clear separates motion from action. Planning a workout is motion. Doing one is action. Motion feels productive and produces nothing. Law 4. Make it satisfying. The story goes that a young stockbroker kept 2 jars and 120 paper clips, moving one across for every sales call. Nothing about a cold call is enjoyable, but the click of a clip is progress you can hear. What gets rewarded gets repeated. And when you track it, one rule matters most. Never miss twice. Missing once is an accident. Missing twice is the beginning of a new habit. And for the habits you want to break, invert it. Make them unsatisfying. Tell someone. Sign a contract. Give the failure a cost you can feel today, because the harm is always tomorrow. July. High sun. Keep it just hard enough to stay interesting and no harder. Last warning, and the book ends on it. Habits make you fluent, and fluency makes you stop noticing. So review, measure. Ask what is no longer true. The tighter you cling to an identity, the harder it becomes to grow past it. And play a game that suits you. Clear is blunt about genes. They do not decide your fate, but they decide your odds. The winning move is choosing the field where your odds are best. Day 365. Same room, same light. Count the differences. Or watch every morning of the year at once. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. No single day was remarkable. That was never the deal. You do not need to be remarkable today. You need to come back tomorrow, 1% better. Atomic Habits by James Clear. More than 25 million copies in print.